What's up guys, NepentheZ here and welcome back. What a tea, welcome back to another episode of The Road to Glory. I've got a lot of games in today because I just played loads and I didn't edit the video. I woke up this morning and I was like, I had a plan this morning. I was like, what I'm going to do is I'm going to wake up, going to edit my Road to Glory video, render it, record it, get it sorted for YouTube, then start playing Foot Champs games. But what actually happened is I woke up, I turned my PlayStation on and started playing Foot Champs games. So I started playing my Foot Champs games without making the video, so I had extra games for today's video. And this weekend, guys, I've been coming up against insane amounts of super teams. And I mean super teams. There was a comment on one of the videos a few days ago where somebody said, why are you complaining about super teams when you have one yourself? I'm not complaining about it. Please don't mistake what I'm saying here. I'm not complaining about coming up against super teams. I know my team is exceptional. You know, outside of upgrading to Cristiano Ronaldo and icons, I'm aware I have pretty much the best team in the game, aside from those items, you know. The reason why I reference it is because this is now, the 7th week of Weekend League or the 6th week of Weekend League. And in all the other previous 5 weeks, I came up against maybe 1 or 2 teams where I was like, whoa, that's a team. But this weekend, I'm coming up against a team pretty much every other game where I'm like, whoa, that's a team. So it was just was a surprise to me. I'm not like, oh man, everyone's on super teams, I can't compete. I'm still beating these players, you know what I mean? I'm still taking wins, I'm still doing good. We've had a good weekend up to this point. I think I was 13-1. After my first 14 games, we play up to game 31 today. So we finish with however many number of wins we finish with when we go live at the end of the video. Lots to talk about today. I have picked up some comments. Before I get into those though, I want to talk about something that I would love to have an open discussion with you guys about. This isn't me telling you how something should be or me saying that my opinion is more valid than somebody else's opinion. This is me wanting to discuss an issue that I think the whole community has and has had since last year, and something that is really coming to realization this year with the fact that so many people don't like the gameplay, and that is the structure of Foot Champs. Now, one of the FootWiz pros, now ex-FootWiz pros, FootWiz Richie, he's quit FIFA. He says he doesn't enjoy the game, and he says the stress of trying to qualify is causing him mental health problems, or at least not helping with mental health problems. If you find the tweet, you quote it exactly. I should have had the tweet available. That's my bad. But it made me kind of like, I tweeted it at EA, or I tweeted out quoting it, saying like, this is why, in my opinion, the Foot Champ structure needs to change immediately, because it's unhealthy forcing people to play 40 games of competitive FIFA in such a short space of time. And the responses were varied, as you would expect. You know, the response on my side of the fence was, yeah, this is unhealthy, it doesn't happen in other game industries, and EA need to change something. And there was a lot of response to people saying, you know, the typical, they're not forced to play the game, if you don't want to play, you don't have to. And I think that's a very naive way to look at things. But outside of that, the response is that the other gaming industries play far longer, and that is true to an extent. And what you have in FIFA is you have a Friday, Saturday, Sunday period where you got to play 40 games. You can probably attribute 3 games per hour. I think that would be fair. I actually think you'll probably get a little less than 3 games per hour, depending on rage quits and extra time and penalties, contracts, fitness, sleeping, eating, etc. I think 3 games per hour is a very fair assessment. So you're looking at about 14 hours of playing FIFA over a Friday, Saturday, Sunday period. And when you break that down over like a 3-day period, you're looking at, you know, maybe 4 hours a day, 5 hours a day, max 4 to 5 hours a day. And that doesn't seem like it's too much, but what you have during that 4 to 5 hour period is you have 4 to 5 hours of outstandingly intense competitive gameplay. And I don't care if that's you going for Elite 3 or Bronze 1 or Top 100. It's just continuous, unsolicited competitive gameplay. And the reason why I don't think that that's fair to say for all the other esports is because in the other esports you can play ranked play at any point during the week, Monday through Sunday, and when it comes down to competitive game play or game moments or events or whatever, it's very, very rare that it's every week, and it's even rarer that it's for that continuous period of time. And that's important because for League of Legends, for example, which is arguably the biggest esport out there, you could probably argue that. But I think in terms of prize funding, League of Legends, maybe StarCraft is the highest at the moment. But for League of Legends, which is an esport I'm very familiar with, I played League a lot back in the last few years. I used to watch the LCS all the time. Those dudes, sure, they put in 12 to 14 hours a day of practice, and when they play at a competitive level, it's intense. But they don't play at such a strict competitive level for as long as FIFA players do. And in League of Legends, a loss isn't defining for you. But in FIFA, no matter how that loss comes along, be it via losing undeservedly, be it via losing deservedly, or be it via losing through, for example, a disconnect, you can't recover that loss. But in other games for ranked play, you can recover losses because of the way the ELO system works. So it adds an extra pressure that no other esport has, because if you lose, you've lost a chance at potentially going to regionals and winning money because of something that might have even been out of your hands. And that just adds pressure, and it affects people mentally. It drains them emotionally, and it drains them mentally. And sure, it's not a physical taxing on your body, right? You're not a labourer. You're not a coal miner. I get that. You're not a health worker where you have to, where you have intense pressures for other reasons. But what you are is a competitive FIFA player. And I know the argument from people is that you don't have to be a pro FIFA player. If you want it, you've got to put in the time and effort. But I think it's unfair to expect so much out of such a small period of time from the people that EA want to be the face of their competitive scene. And the debate I had with Dr. Jarba, because he disagrees with me that the Weekend League should change, is that there might be people out there that are better than the current pros in the game that can't prove themselves because they don't have equal opportunity. And even to the extent where some of the pros now don't even have equal opportunity because they don't earn enough money from playing FIFA, where they actually have to go out and get jobs, like proper jobs. And that's not the same as other esports. Again, it comes to a situation where if you watching right now might be the kind of guy that has to work 2 jobs on a weekend to help pay for bills or rent, food, living costs. You might have to work 2 jobs on a weekend to have living costs. You might also have other obligations like caring for children or caring for elders. You might have obligations, other family obligations. You might have to go to church on Sundays, and it takes time and consideration for that. But it might be a situation where Monday through Thursday, or even Friday included, you go to school and then you get back and you have time in the evening, and those would be the times where you would like to ply your trade, where you would like to show yourself as a best FIFA player, but you don't get the opportunity to do so because EA are saying, hey, if you can't give up your weekends, we don't want you. And I don't think that that's the right way to go about it. I think the right way to go about it is to implement an ELO system like League of Legends has, and have people be able to play at any point throughout the week and literally base it on ELO. So if you match up against someone on your skill level and you win, you will get a very small skill boost because you'll get low ELO points because it was an even game. There's nothing really there. But let's say you're me and you match up against Gorilla. Okay, Gorilla's expected to beat me. His ELO will be much higher. So when he beats me, he'll get almost no points for winning. But if I beat him, I'll get a lot of points for winning. But if he loses, he will lose ELO points, but he will be able to gain those ELO points back by playing another match and winning, and another match and winning. And what will happen is you'll eventually get a pool of people that are there or thereabouts on the level that they should be. You might go on a few bad runs, but then your ELO will drop. You'll start playing people that are below your ELO level. You'll start winning games, and you'll go back up to the level that you should generally trend at and be at. And the argument to this is a few things. First of all, when we look at the FIFA I need packs argument, people are like, oh, but how does that affect weekly and monthlies? And it wouldn't really. You just have a Monday to Sunday weekly league, and then at the end of Sunday, close it down for 6 hours, give everyone the rewards for the level they finished at, and then give them decay. So if you finished in Elite 1, you will get put down into Gold 1, and you'll have to play your way back up to Elite, which you should be able to do, because you're better than Gold 1. So everyone will be starting again, but a little bit lower. Exactly the way FIFA Mobile does it. In FIFA Mobile, if you got up to Legendary 3 and then the league ends, you get put down into like world class 3, and then you have to build your way back up to legendary 3. So that's a way that you could do it for weekly and monthly. It wouldn't be a problem. But the other argument, a couple of arguments. Number one is that there's not a player base big enough to support this, and that would be interesting to understand. And it would also get me to the point where I sit there and think, well, then why doesn't EA open up the weekend league to everybody? And if it's because there's just too many rewards and they don't want to give more people more rewards and heavily inflate the market, then do something to change that. Change the way the rewards are divvied out, change the rewards themselves to untradeable, which will make a huge impact on the market. Change something in that sense, rather than keeping an unhealthy, in my opinion, an unhealthy 3-day weekend league. So that's one of the arguments is that. Another one of the arguments is that you'll get more cheaters. So for example, Arsenal Esports sign one guy who's incredible and one guy who's terrible, and because it gets to a point where it's ELO based, the guy who's incredible can just play his way up to I'm going to regionals, and the guy who's terrible will just have the guy who's incredible play on his account and rank him up to be I'm also going to regionals. So now Arsenal have 2 players going to regionals, even though one of them's really bad. And that is something to be considered, but that's something that every gaming industry has to deal with. And even to the extent now in FIFA 18, we have cheaters. We are rife with cheaters. On squad battles alone, we have exploiters in Ultimate that are taking up the top 100 spots, the top 10 spots, by exploiting the game. And I don't think that's bannable offence, but I think EA should do something about that. But also in Foot Champs, we have cheaters, and they have been there since week 1. There are force DC glitches and no loss glitches running rampant on Xbox and PlayStation, where there was a few weeks back, where there were 40 people that got 40-0 on PlayStation, and around half of them were cheaters. How that cheating is a big issue is something that I don't take as something that should be an accepted, oh, we're not going to change it because what if people cheat? Well, people are going to cheat anyway. You can't use that as a reason to not change things for the better. But the argument that there isn't a big enough player base, that's interesting, because if there isn't a big enough player base, then EA needs to open it to everybody. And you don't see any other esports that's locked out for people in ranked play. Nowhere. Okay, on League of Legends, you're locked out when you create a new account. They require you to get to level 30, which you can achieve by just playing the game. Not being good at the game, by playing the game. And the reason why they encourage that is because it is a team-based game. So if you're brand new to the game and you go straight into ranked play, likelihood is you're actually just going to be a natural detriment to your team, which is not the idea of the game. What they require is you to get to level 30, because by the time you get to level 30, you would have played and understood the game to a degree where you're able to enter into ranked play and be an influence for your team. In FIFA, if EA are worried about something like this, or worried about bot accounts just getting Foot Champs rewards undeservedly and such, all they have to do is put a rank system to qualify that doesn't require wins but requires experience. So your EA SFC level, for example, I know that that's broken right now and they need to fix that, but let's say you have to have level 20 EA SFC. That requires some days and some knowledge of the game to get to a point where it's like, okay, now if you're this level or higher, you're just in the weekend league or the competitive league in FIFA. And one of the most ridiculous answers, just arguments, just to go on a sidetrack here, is that but it's called weekend league, so just change the name. We can't add a 4th day to NepentheZ because then it won't be a weekend league. All right, I don't think EA were like, what can we do for a competitive scene? I know, let's make something called the weekend league and force people to play over the weekend. No, they would have been like, this is what we're going to do, this is what we think is going to be right, what should we call it? Well, it's played on the weekend, let's call it the weekend league. You can change the name. You can also open it up to allow multiple people, everybody at a certain threshold of experience in the game, to get into the weekend league, which would absolve many, many problems of not having a big enough player base. And then lastly, it's stupid to me, it's ridiculous to me, that you're forcing people to win 4 games in a row to say that they're good enough to play in the competitive scene. I know the standard of player in daily knockout tournaments is not quite as high as the standard of player in Foot Champs. In fact, it's just not nearly as high as the standard of player in Foot Champs. But still, to win 4 games in a row is not easy. And 4 wins to 1 loss is a ratio of Elite 2 in Foot Champs. So even if you scaled the quality of player back, you're basically saying to people that you already have to be good enough to achieve gold 3 or gold 2 to be able to qualify. And that's automatic qualification. So why are you making it so that people have to win 4 games in a row when there's so much nonsense in this game, and you're not removing people that are already good enough to qualify from this spectrum? Now, it'd be fine if everybody that was already qualified and already in FUT Champs, it would be fine if they just couldn't play daily knockout tournaments. But because you're allowing them to play it, and then you're offering an incentive to play it, you're saying to people that not only have you got to win 4 games in a row, but you've got to overcome people that are already consistently winning in FUT Champs. That's such an illogical way to get a player base to come and play your competitive scene. So I've nearly taken up the whole time of this, and I do want to hear your guys' opinions and your guys' thoughts. For me personally, I think everyone should have equal opportunity to show themselves to be the best. And I think for EA Sports, it would benefit them to have the best players at their events, because it would be more enjoyable to watch, and you would be seeing the best of the best. It would be more enjoyable for us as viewers, it would be more fair on the pros as players, and it would be more beneficial for EA Sports because they are getting the best. What I don't agree with is that they're saying right now that you have to not only have the time and the ability to play 40 games at the highest level per weekend, but you also have to have the mental fortitude to overcome the stress of being forced to play those 40 games per weekend and being able to not recover losses. And although Jabba was against changing the concept of Weekend League, he is a prime example of somebody who actually missed out because of disconnects. He didn't go to regionals last year because he got so many proven disconnects whilst on stream. He lost so many times whilst winning games by disconnect that he missed out on regionals because of it. Now, in a ranked ELO system, that would never be the case, because if he got a disconnect loss, yes, he would lose those ELO points, but because he's better than the ELO ranking he gets reduced to, he could just play a couple more games and he'll earn those ELO points back, and he'll be back in contention for regionals. For me personally, I don't know why EA don't change the structure they have. Who knows? Maybe next year it'll be different. But this year, more so than ever, because the gameplay is bad according to some. I personally enjoy this gameplay. I think there are some flaws with the gameplay. Don't get me wrong. I'm not saying it's perfect. I enjoy it. I do like it. So many people don't like it. And the stress and pressure of another year of Weekend League has turned so many people off that we've seen pros quit like I never thought I'd see. I think it's safe to say that at least 6 to 8 pros have already quit playing competitive FIFA because the game isn't good enough and the competitive structure doesn't reward good play. And I think that's something that EA absolutely have to address. And I think it's something they should address to their community. I find it, I know EA are notorious for being just dark. I know they're notorious for never being transparent with their community and never letting us know really what's what. They've done some bits here and there that have been great and very informative and shown us some stuff here or there. But on this one, I do feel like they need to explain to us why this is the Weekend League is why it is. Why we don't know how matchmaking works. Why people can't recover losses. Why is there no ability to reconnect to games? PUBG has it. PUBG's still in alpha stages, and if you disconnect from the game, you can go and reconnect. Why don't you have something in FIFA where it gives you a 60-second or a 180-second time window where if you disconnect, you can jump back in? Because more often than not, you disconnect because of EA, not because of your internet. Last year, I had so many DC losses when my internet was fine, and I immediately got back into Ultimate Team. Now, if they just have an ability to reconnect, problem solved. Because if you've lost your connection to the EA servers, advanced, enter, rejoin. Are you sure you would like to rejoin this game? You have such and such seconds left. Yes or no. If you say no, game cancels, guy gets the win or doesn't get the win, or however that plays out. You press yes. The game's in a paused state. Then you come out and you've got 20 seconds of the pause, counts down like a normal pause would, and you carry on playing. Maybe that's just too much for me to expect from a company like EA with the resources they have to implement something like that. But it's in most other games where you can reconnect to your game. Bottom line is, I personally think the Weekend League format needs to change. Not just for me and my life and my livelihood and my enjoyment, but because I genuinely believe it's unhealthy for the top players and just the players in general, but more specifically the top players of this game. I think it's unhealthy for them to be forced to play weekend league in this manner. I'm more than happy to listen to everyone and anyone what they got to say, whether you agree or disagree. Just try and keep it civil if you disagree with me, and try and explain your reasons so we can actually have a true discussion about this, rather than just shouting and screaming at someone because they don't have the same opinion as you. That would be great. Right now, guys, this is going to be the end of the gameplay. I am going to go live. We're going to do an SBC. I'm going to show you and talk about some of the profit that I made from all those bronze cards and such. But this is the end of the gameplay, guys. I will be right back. Alright guys, so I've decided to end the gameplay there for today's video. We've got 9 games left. We're currently on 26 wins. We're in a good spot for elite. For how well I hold my nerve will determine whether or not we can get Elite 1 or not. I'm feeling good. I'm playing some good FIFA. You know, we've taken 2 losses on penalties this weekend league. One of those losses, I should have won the game in normal time. That was game 3. We saw that yesterday. I like no excuses there. I just didn't take my chances, and I absolutely should have come away with that game with a win. But the second penalty loss, I can take that one a bit more just on the chin, if you will, because I was 1-0 up and I was just generally in control of the game. I wasn't by far and away the better player or anything, but I was creating the better chances. I had more possession, and then I made a stupid tackle. I got a red card. My opponent equalised, and then I still created chances during extra time and the remainder of the game. I wasn't able to take them, and I lost on penalties. So that's kind of like a, you know, I can hold my hands up there. I was like, yo, I screwed up. You know, I got a red card and took a loss. And of the 5 losses we've got so far, I can say that for 4 of them. For 4 of the losses, I can say, listen, I had my chances, I didn't take them. My opponents played well. The game that I lost a couple of games ago, again, you know, I had a couple of really good chances. At 1-0 up, I had a golden opportunity with Henry to go 2-0. I slowed down to apply the low driven, and as I slowed down, he's come steaming into the back of me, put pressure on me and pushed me off the ball. And, you know, in hindsight, I could have just run an extra step. I could have tried to shoot while sprinting. It might not have been as accurate, but it still might have gone in. And instead of going 2-0 up from a clean one-on-one opportunity, it remained at 1-0. He eventually pulled it back and went 2-1 up. So, you know, those 4 games that I lost, I can sit there and say, you know, my opponents played really, really well and thoroughly earned their wins against me, and I need to play better in those scenarios to get there. But that 1 loss on penalties early on in the weekend league might come back to haunt me. With that being said, I need to win just 8 of my last games, 8 of my last 9 games to get Elite 1. Worst case scenario here, we're looking like we're going to get Elite 3 quite comfortably. So if I can get, you know, 31, 32 wins anyway, I'll be happy with that. And I think for me going forwards, a 31 to 32 win threshold is like my minimum, is where I'd like to be. I'd like to be at 32 wins actually, and then only ever get more than 32 wins. Like last weekend, I didn't space my games properly. I only finished on 29 wins. This weekend, as you can see, obviously we've got 26 wins with 9 games left. Now, we've got 610,000 coins. You would have seen a lot of me selling bronze players because of this new SBC. Bronze cards are just selling. Some of them for only a few hundred coins. Some of them for very, very high amounts of coins. Some of them for 14, 1500 coins, etc. And that puts us up to 610,000, which means after squad battles rewards this evening, I will be buying at least one of Desai or Lothar Matthäus, depending on which one's the cheapest and what I get in those packs. Now, I'm currently not in top 100. I'm not far outside top 100, though. I'm only 4,000 points outside top 100, and I've got 4 games to spare. So I haven't played yet my 4 afternoon games. So I'll get 10,000 points to 11,000 points off of this, and that will put me on 109 as a minimum. If I can get just the 10,000 points, so 109,475, which will put me about 17th. And if I can get up to 11,000 or anywhere in between there, that'll put me around the 13th to 12th spot. Unfortunately, there are too many people using the ultimate exploit for me to get top 10 this week. You know, this guy is using it. We've known about these two for a long time anyway. These 2 dudes have started using it. Tadex has started using it. There's another guy that's not even here right now. I can't remember what his name is, but he started using it. So there's so many people using it right now. This guy looks like he'll be able to overtake me. So it might be a situation, dudes, where top 20 isn't actually a possibility. And if that's the case and we get top 50, we'll still get a 100k pack, 2 mega packs and 65k coins instead of a 100k pack, 2 50k packs and 75k coins. Won't be the end of the world. We're pretty much secured in for top 50 at this stage. It's just whether or not I can fight for that top 20 spot. What we'll do next week is Monday through Thursday, I'll stay on Legendary. And if at the back end of the week, it's looking like top 20 or higher are using the Ultimate Exploit, I will most likely start using the Ultimate Exploit as well. I don't want to get left behind because people are, using an exploit. But the reason why I haven't used it so far, because I've got people tweeting me in comments saying, why not just use it now? Guarantee yourself top 10 this week or top 20 this week and use it now. It doesn't feel right. I explained it in the last video. It's a situation where the exploits on Legendary, the fake shots, the bull rolls, the way that low drivens are overpowered, you still have to work and earn those things. You know what I mean? You have to work hard, you have to earn those chances, and you have to score the goals. And then you have to keep a clean sheet and grind the corners and grind shots and grind tackles and grind possession. And it's skill-based. It takes effort to get that. The exploit on Ultimate, although it's still relatively difficult in the sense that you might concede goals because you start against 11 men, the exploit on Ultimate is you're getting red cards against the AI because they have 99 aggression, and in turn that means that you're up against 7 men, and at that point it becomes ridiculously easy to beat Ultimate. It's just in the process time between starting the game and getting the red cards that it's really, really tough. And it doesn't feel like it would be an achievement. I don't feel like I would have been earned anything because it doesn't require skill to a degree. I think it requires more skill to win 5-0, get 10 corners, 10 shots, all the possession and all the tackles on Legendary than it does to get a win on Ultimate. So I don't want to do it this week because, potentially not next week. I hope EA change something. I don't think people should get banned for it. I will say that. It is just an exploit in the game. What I hope is for EA to change something, whether that be reducing the aggression of players in Ultimate difficulty, whether that be removing Ultimate difficulty, whether that be putting in a stipulation on Ultimate difficulty where if the AI gets 2 or more red cards, the game is voided and you have to replay, because I think in that instance, playing against 9 Ultimate players is still going to be really, really tough. There's a reason why people get all 4 red cards. So we're in that scenario right there, guys. Yeah, like I say, we're in a good spot. Foot champs, we're in a good spot. Squad battles. Let me have a look at this. I will do these Path to Glory ones. I want to do. Oh, there's only 2 hours left on this. I'm definitely going to do this then. So we need 1 nation, 74 rated. I've got a lot of English players. Let's have a look. Let's have a look on my gold English. Yeah, we can use some English players. Shaloba, Andros Townsend can go in. A lot of these are worth nothing, so I don't mind you. Like, we can use War-Prowse, we can use Troy Deeney. Let's see if we've got any cams. Can even put a striker in there if needs be. I don't want to use any of those. I will use a goalkeeper as well. So we'll throw Pickford in there, and now we'll go to non-golds anymore. We'll go low to high. We'll go to the English Championship. No, I don't want to use Championship. Let's use English League 3, and let's use bronze players, and we'll just fill out the squad from here. So let's go position active. So we've got a 63 dude here. We've got a couple of 63s here. I will check these dudes because, like, how I've made all these coins over the last couple of days, guys, is literally through this. These players are worth so much because they're necessary for this SBC. I might need to put a gold player in again. I don't know if I've got enough rating here. No, see, we're only 72 rated, so I'm going to need another gold, or potentially a silver Englishman. Don't want to use him. Clucas, don't mind. Turner, I don't mind. Let's have a look at. Let's have a look how much Clucas is going for. Yeah, like less than the 600 coins. So we could throw him in there. That pops up to a 73. And let's have a look how much Turner is going for. 33 pace Turner. What a beast. Ooh, hello. Damn, well this guy's a few thousand, so he can go. He can get sold. 2.4k for him. I'll take that. Target, is this guy worth all that much? No, see, he's worth less than 600 coins too. So we throw him in there. That's still not quite enough. We're going to have to go for another Englishman. Let's look at lines here. We'll see if we can pop him in. Let's see what we got. Yeah, 500 or less for him as well. So we'll throw him in at that right mid spot, and that is our team done. But these guys that I was using are probably sellable because they're 83 rated, sorry, 63 rated. Is this guy 200 coins? Yeah, so he's 200 coins. Cams and CDMs don't seem to go. It's more the left mids and right mids, left backs and right backs that are the sellable ones. He's only 200 coins too. And then last but not least, this guy. Alright, so we'll get 200 coins for him. I'll list him up 250, hope for a lazy buyer. So this is the team we're going to trade in for a gold players pack. Oh, players from the same league, max 6. Who have I got too many of? I've got too many Premier League players. Okay. I've got, yeah, one too many Premier Leagues. Gonna have to go for a different left back, aren't I? If we pop him in there, we don't get the rating here. So let me go back to the Premier League for gold English players, and we'll go and get ourselves a higher rated midfielder that's going to be worth less. Or let's use Jermaine Defoe. We can pop in Heaton as well. So let's try Heaton to start with. There we go. So Heaton in goal is enough. So that's our gold players pack there. I don't expect anything out of this gold players pack. It would just be a fun way to end the video off, to see if we can get anything decent at all. Come on, EA, give us one of these purple Path to Glory players. That would be sick. In a gold players pack, that would be awesome. Board comes down. No shine, unfortunately. We don't even get a shiny gold. This is why I hate gold players packs genuinely. We get 82 Aaron Ramsey, which isn't bad. But our shiny player is silver, and that's super disappointing. However, Aaron Ramsey being an 82 rated, I will take that. That's nice. We'll send these dudes straight into the club. This guy hopefully is going to be worth something. There's a French CDM from the Netherlands. No, he's not. We'll store these for now. And we'll pop these dudes. What's Rambo going for? 82 rated. Oh, nice. Yeah, that's not so bad. We're going to make some money back out of that. Borges there can go for 650. This video is probably going to end up being mad long today as well, guys. So hopefully you enjoy those long videos. If not, that's too bad, because that's what you're getting today. This, though, is going to be the end of the video. If you did enjoy it, be sure to leave a like, rating, comment, and subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. But for now, guys, I'm out. Peace.